Hello and welcome to my 2003 skoolie. I'll do a video of the whole interior and the exterior in a little bit. But today just want to show you a couple things I'm going to be doing. If all goes well, I will be shipping this over to Europe from the United States in the summer, June or July of 2024. And I've got a list of things I need to do to prepare for that. A couple easy things today I'm going to do. I've got to put in a new bypass cutoff valve in the water system between the hot and the cold water pipes. I'll show you why I'm doing that in a little bit. So I've got the cutoff valve, the two T's, the crimpers or the crimp fittings, and the PEX tool for crimping it all together. I've got to replace the air valve for the air horn. I had a manual one, but it was starting to leak, so I bought an electric one. So I'll plumb that in. That shouldn't be difficult. And I'm also going to add another switch for my water pump. I have one over here by the sink, right there, but it's only accessible from inside. I have a sink in the garage at the back of the bus that is nice for cleaning up when I'm working on things, but I don't normally leave the switch on for the water pump, so I'd have to come in here to turn it on and then get the inside dirty. So I'm going to put a switch in the back of the bus to turn on the water pump out there. But I have to rewire the pump because right now that switch powers the pump, so it's providing 12 volt power. I'm going to switch it so that the pump is getting 12 volts, and that switch will ground the pump. And the same with the new switch in the back. They'll simply ground the pump. So I just have to rewire that. It's not too difficult. If we look at our thermometer, it's about 50 degrees in here. It's mid 40s or so outside. I've got the two diesel heaters going to warm this place up. But I'll show you the projects as I get finished with them. And it is December 8th right now, so I've got about 6 months before I need to get this bus ready and shipped over to Europe. So I'll let you know how these projects go. Okay, back with the first project done. I added the bypass valve for the hot and cold water. So the cold water comes up on the blue line, goes into the water heater, and the hot water comes out of the water heater. I have one line that goes to the shower because I can adjust the temperature of the water heater, so I can just set the temperature for whatever I want, and it just feeds that temperature to the shower. And I added these two cutoff valves a couple weeks ago so I can drain the water heater. That's just the diesel heater shutting down, so hopefully it's not too loud. I added these two shutoff valves for the water heater so I can drain the water heater when it gets cold out. They have little drain plugs right here on both of them. So these are both shut off right now, so I don't have to disconnect these fittings all the time. So if I shut these off and I don't want to run the water heater, I can now turn this valve on, which will allow the cold water up, and it'll feed the hot line just for the kitchen sink. So I have water on both lines, just so it doesn't get confused or whatever. So this way I can effectively bypass the entire water heater if I need to, and at least the kitchen sink will work sort of normally. It'll just be cold water on both sides. So that's what I wanted to add today. So that's done. So now I can just isolate the water heater if I need to. That will make life easier draining the water heater. So that's it for project number 1. Okay, I'm back with project number 2 completed. The switch in the workshop or garage for the water pump. So this red switch is for the water pump. This is for the fan right here, which is right up here. And if we listen, we can hear the water pump turn on real quick. I'm not sure if you could hear that. I've got it disconnected from the water line, so I don't want to run it too long. But it does turn on now. This simply grounds it back here to, there's a battery bar down there for the 12 volt solar batteries. So it can now be grounded either by the switch in the kitchen or the switch back here. And that's the little wash up sink. Obviously I have some cleaning up to do, but this is just cold water, so I can wash up back here in the garage without having to go into the interior of the bus and get that all dirty. So project number 2 for the day completed.